14th, 2021 order. Is there any change to the agenda?
No.
No change to the agenda. Then I will ask for a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you all. All in favor? Okay. And I will ask for approval for the minutes of the regular meeting of November 9th, 2021. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Second? Thank you. Second. All in favor? Thanks. Okay. Jacob, Jason, do we have any comment?
We do not.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, Amy, I will yield to you at this point.
Okay. So we will start rolling on with
Can you hear her? Kim?
No.
Can you put that up high on your star?
Yeah, that actually.
How about now?
Oh, I hear you.
No.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I thought you might have to put it on top of that scar.
How about,
Block it.
how's that?
That'll work.
No. You still can't hear me?
Yeah, it's on. Oh, it's on.
How about now?
Thank you, Amy. Okay, off we go.
Okay, so the financial updates, I've been putting kind of the last 4 months so that we can see the downward trend. But I did make connection with Kevin Marino, and if you don't look at it month by month and look at it more as quarters, this is kind of typical of what we would see. Wasn't typical last year just based on our funding sources, but as we stand right now, we will probably see another dip next month, and then we'll kind of start working our way up as the fourth quarter comes up, because our pots will get filled back up. So what happens is we lose our money, and then our buckets get filled up, and then we lose our money, and our buckets get filled up. Some are not getting filled up at all, and when I talk to our local business liaison, there's nothing in works right now for us to get an increase in funding from the state or from the federal government. So we have what we have, and we're just gonna have to probably next quarter, and really more when we start again in July, work at pulling a little from here, pulling a little from there, and then cutting those spots off, and then pulling a little from here, and pulling a little from there, so the decrease doesn't seem so dramatic. I think that will be our best bet. I think how it went this year was just, they used some and moved on to the next pot, used some, moved on to the next pot. What we know is that we can control the social workers' access to that money when they're doing their billing, per se, their day sheets is where it comes from. So if we just do a good job at allotting more money at certain times of the year, I think that these numbers will look better to us next year. So I feel a little bit better about that now that I feel like we have a plan. Vacancies, so still looking for a permanency planning social worker, which is foster care. We need a program assistant. This morning when I got to work, we only needed 1 IMC, but by the end of the day, I heard we might need 2. So I'm still waiting to see if that's actually going to happen, but it appears that it might.
So total vacancies are,
Total vacancies right now, 3.
and possibly 4.
Possibly 4.
Okay, thank you.
We did get the Medicaid positions filled, and they have all started. So that I think has been a huge relief to some. And we did fill the CPS investigator assessor position, and she plans to start on Monday the 20th, if all goes as planned. As of now, we've not received any new applications for the permanency planning social worker position. So we continue to advertise, but we're not getting any applications at all. So the next ones are just the Medicaid numbers. I would just highlight, if you look at apps taken, applications taken, at the top of the second page, that number doubled in the month of November. that was a pretty big increase for the Medicaid unit, especially since they were understaffed. And then if you look at how many applications they processed, it was 35 in October and they processed 50 the month of November. The rest of that's just kind of the same, the basic data. Medicaid, adult Medicaid stayed relatively the same. Food and nutrition services, they stayed about the same as well. We also run the emergency assistance. So your heating and crisis money comes out of the food and nutrition unit as well. And we also are now running a water program. So we put in how much money we currently have in those areas as well. So far we've taken, the month of November, 72 applications for emergency assistance with heating.
They said the water's
It is, which is a brand new program, and it got quite a bit of money attached to it from the federal government. So they've opened up different portions. So there was a certain portion that opened up for the month of December, and then there'll be another portion that will open up in January. And the criteria to qualify is much more, is less when January, the pot of money in January hits. So these are helping folks that have disconnected. So actually the town had to become a vendor in the system. So we were able to help them do that and then get their payment through them. So it was kind of a long and lengthy process. And then we have program integrity, which is our fraud unit. That has stayed about the same. Child support continues to do really well. They meet almost all of their numbers every single month. Social work services, we look at adult and aging, so our APS units, they had almost double the number of evaluations this year, or this last month than they had the month before. You'll notice we had one report of abuse and we had one report of exploitation, which aren't things that we normally get, so both of those were new. Child protection services with child welfare, that continues to also, those numbers continue to grow. We're doing quite a few assists for other counties right now. We've been working quite a bit in Cherokee County, we've been working quite a bit in Clay County. And they are doing the same for us when we need them over here. And since we met last month, we have, I think, 4 more children that came into care in the month of November. So we're up to 30 cases. So that number continues to grow. So that is the majority of the data. Any questions, concerns, thoughts?
A lot of concern with the thing that we do about
Maybe you bet.
How's our foster child program going? Are we still continuing to get additional foster parents, or do we need more? Where's the status on that?
I think you can always have more, but I think that this county has a great number of foster homes compared to surrounding counties. So we have 7 and then 2 that are working on licensure right now.
Where are they in the program? Are they near completion, or did it start?
I don't know, I'd have to check just to be specific. The way that it kind of works right now is that they work at their own pace. So there's somebody that works along with them from the agency, but they kind of follow a book and a curriculum, and it's more at their own pace when they can. It just allows for foster parents. It's helped us get more foster parents because they're not all having to come to a specific place at a specific time. So this is giving them a little bit more freedom. I want to do this, but I work full time. I have other kids of my own. So how can I best do this? So they're all in different places at different times.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, y'all are making home visits on a regular basis now? And you did home visits all through the COVID, did you not?
Yes.
Just stay on the outside?
Foster care during regular business hours was, and still can, when I need to, allowed to do some FaceTiming, especially when you had folks that were placed far away in group homes, and the group home wouldn't let you in because they had an exposure or they were concerned about outside people coming in. But as it stands now, all of our children are seen face to face. And with CPS and APS, it didn't matter their COVID situation, they had to be seen. Yeah.
So how many workers did you have going into homes?
I don't know, just because I wasn't here during that period. I can account for the number of people that I have now that were there during that period. And my best guess is about eight people.
Now, is this the, North Carolina designates child protective services and adult protective service workers as emergency first responders? That's new.
That came out in June of 2020, so it was kind of in the midst of the throes of the action, really. And I think it was, I was at Swain during that time, so it was really about, I think, trying to get us the COVID PPE and trying to get us all the things that we were going to need when we went out to people's homes, which we all still have and all still use. They all have to be maxed up still. So.
And you still have all the equipment that you need?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions. Any questions?
No, no, sir.
Do you have any comments? No. Any comments?
No, I saw something here that got me in my mind. I was glad. I will ask real dumb questions. I think I already know the answers to it. In the emergency assistance stuff, there's one Lilac water. You got about $14,000 there. And I'm just curious because a couple of weeks ago, our church was asked to donate money to help pay people's water bills that the town of Robbinsville, I forget how many people they said they were going to disconnect the following day or a couple of days after that, and the total they were looking for was about $5,000 to pay all these. I'm sure there must be a lot of past due bills, but I'm wondering, why didn't these people come to you guys is what I'm wondering.
I would wonder
If they were in that situation. I mean, it's a new program, I guess it's not.
Maybe, I think we advertise in the paper. We try to get the word out. We definitely, if you come in for another service, we're asking you about that service. That's a good question. I don't know.
It's not wrong with this education.
Right.
If they have a problem, maybe just say, hey, you need to talk to this.
Did they have that information? That's a yes. That's a dumb question right there.
The thought would be, I don't know where we incur the cost, especially through the pandemic, would be a simple flyer, because they're mailing out piped water bills.
Sure.
A simple flyer to go with that just says the water bill help see Grant County Social Services.
That's a good thought. Jason, we all be, well, we just need to talk to the town about doing that, I guess.
They may or may not qualify.
True.
But
They could,
so I know at least the comment was made at church that, some of them were elderly, so, Patrick could ask Brian.
maybe reach out, maybe you could reach out to Sonia,
I think there was 14 of them or something. I remember that.
Sonia and maybe,
Anyway, they got the water bill paid, I hope.
Well, thank you, Hope, for us, we appreciate that.
Well, there were several churches that did contribute. But I think everybody's familiar with the energy side of it, the heating and the electrical. I don't recall when the deal with somebody's water. But
We've never done water. This was December 1st, I think is when I started, and this was brand new.
Must be a statewide.
It is, and it's part of, it's coming, I think, from those ARPA funds. So that's what's propelling this.
So that's maybe why nobody even thought about it. So a good idea.
The town could
Getting
be
out of town of Robinson.
It's lost revenue.
Yeah.
Because that's what, Ms. Evans was talking about, the percentage rate that they can actually file for lost revenue under certain situations that become evident over this period of time. And they've been trying to do that so where they can get that money back. I don't know.
Well, that answered my dumb question. And
that's a great
It's
question.
a very good question. And this is brand new, and it's been brand new for the office, so there's been a whole process, and we were ready, and then the process didn't work, and then we got a letter saying, we're sorry, the process didn't work. So now we have to go back and do it this way, so, this has been a huge learning curve, I think, for the folks at the water department and for our agency, and they kind of, Harrison has walk with the water, with the folks at the town to try to get them situated for this.
Would you be open to asking them to put a flag in the water bill?
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely sit down and have a conversation about what we could do to get the word out there better.
Sounds good. Good suggestion.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any new or old business?
I think the only thing I put on here was the premium pay, which is why I attached, and I just really wanted to give folks that information, because I know those conversations are happening. And I just thought it was important for folks that have been going out, continue to go out daily and see folks, whether they're positive or whether they're not, just, that we needed to put what we knew had happened out there in the information that we had. It's really just about informing folks.
And then I would ask if the board is, at this time, wanted to talk a little bit about your intention and then maybe a goal for another workshop, if potentially that, or a presentation on Tuesday.
We're looking at Tuesday.
Okay. Do you have a direction I can call Miss Garland? And you guys can maybe give her your direction on what you want, how you want her to look at that? And is that how you would like how you want to see us break it down and present to you on Tuesday? Or are you looking at talking about another workshop on Tuesday?
Thought we just talked about it
All of it?
on Tuesday. Anybody got a problem with that? I don't think so.
How much time do you think it's gonna take? It'll be a very good conversation.
Well,
And
the initial, movement is what we're talking about, that will take on. But the other parts of it I think that will require a workshop, Jake.
And I think too, along the lines of how you're explaining how you may want to see it, if you have an idea of how you want to do something right now and it's generalized, that's kind of a simpler way to put numbers together with personnel and a time frame that I think Daly mentioned at our last meeting, from and until, and the general amount. That might be fairly simple to put numbers in front of the board from that. But if we start talking about what we could potentially be doing in May with a larger sum for X amount, and then you're taking it down for departments that has exposure, then we need a little more time to put those numbers us to do.
I agree. We need a workshop except for the initial first action, and that should be very simple.
Yes.
So we're not Tuesday,
Yes,
I'm presuming we can do it.
Yeah. we can pull that into closed. It will be personnel.
Okay.
Okay.
So just discuss it on Tuesday for the most part. That's it.
Thank you, Jason. Anything from anybody else? Do we have anything for closed?
I don't.
Kim?
No, nothing for me.
Okay, and do we have minutes to get approved for you, Kim?
Get approved them, but if you can sign them Tuesday night.
That'd be fine. Okay. Anybody have any further questions or comments? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Did you hear that all right, Kim?
Was that Ella and Dale?
Yes, it was.